Welcome to Monday, another Masterclass Monday, and I am so humbled that you met me in our healing space. So I want to give some focus and some attention to a theme that has been coming up in session pretty regularly, and that is that big scary word called abandonment. And if you know me, you know that we are on this journey of self-love. Before we can truly love someone else and authentically pour ourselves into another person, we have to be filled up. I often explain it in session like this. Just imagine if you had a cup and that cup had a hole in the bottom and you kept trying to pour water in that cup is never going to get filled. In working with me, we try to patch up that hole so that you can fill up that cup, so that everything that you are looking for in another person, you can find in yourself first. One thing that I always hear is, okay, how? How do I do that? How do I fill up that cup? How do I heal? How do I get on this journey? What is the prescription? Well, showing up here today, showing up for yourself, that is the first step. The next thing is looking at the wounds that can be hurtful, the wounds that can be scary to kind of look at and highlight and define. Looking at ourselves, checking ourselves first, and fixing what needs to be fixed before we are ready to move into that transition of loving another person. So what I've been seeing showing up in session is abandonment. A lot of us out there are walking around and holding these bags of abandonment, feeling abandoned, not understanding why they've been left under a rock. So I want to make some space to kind of sit that bag down and let's unpack it just a little bit. The goal is to learn how to give up that relentless protest and work with, rather against, the feelings that come up due to abandonment. I say in session all the time as we go through our exercises, I ask my clients, I say, what came up for you when you were doing this exercise? And the reason why I say that is because we want to work with the feelings that come up as we go through these painful experiences. We want to work with them and stop burying them under distractions. The distraction of social media, the distraction of work, the distraction of a baby, the distraction of school, the distraction of Netflix, everything that we distract ourselves with just so we don't have to look at, just so we don't have to feel what's really inside of us. So I always ask you, or always ask my client, what came up when we were looking at this wound? We're not going to bury it. We're going to face it. Talk to me about what you feel in this moment. So when we look at abandonment, first of all, the definition is a loss of love, a feeling of disconnection, and being left behind. Abandonment can be physical, mental, emotional. It is that break, that loss of feeling disconnected. It is a hurtful feeling. It is pain. It makes the person feel like, what could I have done better to avoid this outcome? I hope you brought your pen to masterclass today, because I have a journaling exercise that I want you to think about, something that I want you to consider. I want you to think about an experience in your life that left you feeling abandoned. And I want you to describe that experience. What happened to you that made you feel left behind? Who did this to you? When did it happen? How did it happen? And how are you feeling about it today? Let's put that heavy load down, put that heavy bag down and begin to unpack it. What's in there? What have you been holding on to? We are going to be looking at abandonment for the next 4 weeks. We are going to be unpacking some wounds. We are going to be unpacking some bags. We're going to be looking at ourselves, taking an internal look, checking ourselves first before we decide to check anyone else. I challenge you to be introspective. I challenge you to be authentic. And I challenge you to face those wounds that are hurtful. Definitely email me at onthecouch1111@gmail.com. Let me know how you are doing with this exercise. How are you doing with thinking about an experience that has left you feeling abandoned? What comes up for you when you dig into that? Always looking forward to chatting with you. Until next time, my wish for you is to be brave, be magical, and above all else, be well. Chat soon.